I just saw Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney, and it was good. I liked it. I went into this movie completely blind. The girl who sold me my ticket told me that it was pretty good, that it was pretty scary. And I was like, yeah, I've heard good things about it. And then I went in and I wasn't scared, but I thought it was good. I don't really get scared during horror movies, and that's not me trying to be tough. That's just the truth. I've been watching these things since I was 13 years old, baby. I've been around. I don't get scared. I'm a man. No, but I wanted to see this because it has Sydney Sweeney, and she's hot. She was hot in this movie, and she was also really good. The last movie I saw her in was that one with Glenn Powell. What was it? It's gonna come to my head. Anyone But You. There it is. Anyone But You. And she was like good in that, but she seemed like she didn't really care. Like she seemed disinterested. And I think that was just her take on the character she was portraying. Very casual, very like monotone. I don't know. But it came off as not caring sometimes. But in this movie, that doesn't happen. She seems to really care. She's very present in her scenes. She's pretty convincing. There's not a whole lot to her character at all, really. She's pretty straightforward, but she does a good job. I mean, she does a good job. She acts and she does good. Nice. Again, I knew very little about this movie going in, and I was very surprised by how good the first half actually was. I think the first half of this movie is better than the second. The first half has a really good tone. It's very creepy. When I was a kid, I went to a Catholic school every Sunday. Like, I didn't go to Catholic school, but I went to like an after-school Catholic school thing. And one day when I was there, they showed us this video about nuns, and it was nuns talking about being nuns. And they seemed very artificially happy and like just fake. And when the propaganda was over, the teachers talked to us and we're all like, yeah, see, the nuns look all happy. Being a nun is great, and you know, all that stuff is great. And ever since that experience, I've just always found the concept of like nunhood and like convents and stuff, I don't know, like creepy. Just, it makes me uncomfortable. These women, these real women, you know, they swear their life to God. And I mean, if you're into that, that's cool. You can do what you want, but it's crazy to me, and it weirds me out. Is that bad to say? It just weirds me out. The notion of Sydney Sweeney being a nun, like, that's terrifying. This is the scariest movie ever made. I changed my mind. Okay, jokes aside, the first half of this movie really does have a good tone. It sets things up really well. Things that are paid off in the movie later are set up really well. And it's just creepy, and there's a lot of mystery and intrigue, and it's good. Once we get into the second half and we know what's going on, it becomes considerably less compelling, in my opinion. The climax, especially, is a mixed bag. Mild spoilers, yeah. It was kind of cool to see Sydney Sweeney just, like, murdering guys. You know, that was neat. I enjoyed that for some reason. But it also felt kind of cheesy and not consistent with the tone of the first half. Also, there were some fire effects that I found very unconvincing. And it was just starting to feel goofy by this point. Like, okay, like, calm down. This is not scary at all now. Like, this kind of stuff really doesn't scare me. This kind of climax in a horror movie where, like, everything's just going crazy. That stuff is really unsubtle and just doesn't scare me at all. I was much more creeped out by the first half and just, like, nuns and nuns being creepy and scary dreams about nuns. Just nuns. I find nuns scare me. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so there's that's a thing. All the performances in this movie are solid. None of the characters stand out whatsoever. I've forgotten all of them already, but they work. They function in the story. It's a decent screenplay. It's really well shot, you know. I really enjoyed some of the shots in this movie quite a bit. The director did a good job, cinematographer did a good job, the DP, camera ops, first Stacy, everything was in focus, good job there. Except the stuff that wasn't supposed to be in focus, like, I don't know, the background and shit, the foreground, you know what I mean. I don't think this movie will stick with me all that much. I'd definitely watch it again with some friends. It's a very crowd-pleasing kind of horror movie, like, very approachable. There's nothing too crazy in it. It's got some good gore. Maybe the gore would be a bit much for people, but I don't know. I find it all very mild. Oh, there's also parts in this movie where, like, the nuns will swear, like, they'll say fuck or like god damn it, and that was kind of satisfying to watch. That was neat. That was funny. I've been talking about how creeped out I am by nuns, but also, I mean, nuns are kind of hot, right? I'd say all the nuns in this movie are pretty hot. That's a good thing. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? And yeah, the concept for this movie is really neat. I think it could have been explored a lot more. It's all very surface level. Everything feels very surface level. It's not a deep movie at all, and it's not trying to be anything that it isn't. And I enjoyed it for what it was. A decently made, decently written horror movie with a good lead performance. It's entertaining. You can watch it with your friends. Very light. It's not going to be a classic or anything, but it's fine. It's fine horror filler, I guess. I sound very unenthusiastic. I enjoyed my experience. Just, the more I look back on it, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm going to forget this movie in like a year. I did look up the budget for this movie before going to see it for some reason. It only cost $9 million. That's a lot of money if you don't have $9 million. But this is Hollywood we're talking about. $9 million? Damn, that's a low budget. That is a low budget. That's how you make a horror movie, Throw a bunch of creepy hot nuns in it, keep the budget low. Sydney Sweeney is one of the hot nuns. She's also carrying the second Jesus, and bam, you're definitely gonna make your money back. But yeah, pretty decent horror film. I enjoyed it. If I was hanging out with friends and we were all drunk or high and they wanted to watch it, I would not object. It is entertaining enough, and I think it deserves a solid 6 out of 10. Not exceptional, pretty enjoyable. First half is way better than the second half. Sydney Sweeney does a good job. Nuns scare me, and I am going to bed. Good night.